Welcome to the JP8 report. This is James Pierce, and I got Ray Ashby here. We're doing his Coryell County runoff interview for County Commissioner 4 race. And it's going to be him versus Justin Smith on May 26th. And right now, I think the early vote dates are May 18th to May 22nd, right?
That's right.
18,
Yep.
19,
Monday
20,
through Friday.
22. Yep. Okay, and the big day is the day after Memorial Day.
Yep. May 26th.
May 26th. All right, so sit back. If you have questions, we are actually live, okay? If you notice, I didn't even change my shirt from the podcast earlier. We're actually live. If you have questions, the live chat's open. You can text us in here, and we will answer them either verbally or I'll type out a quick response. We'll give him full latitude to talk to everybody. All right. So don't forget, if you're watching this again today, click the follow button for me, and then click that like button, and then share the interview out. All right. We may be 5 hours. We may be 3 hours. We may be 15 minutes. I don't know. It all depends on Ray. Okay. All right. So let's get this going. I think we're spun up enough. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, and we're on Rumble, all right?
Okay.
So let's do this. This is Ray Ashby. He made it to the runoff. He looked like he lost a little bit of weight from March 3rd.
I'm working on it.
All right, so reintroduce yourself to everyone.
Okay. Well, I'm Ray Ashby. I'm running for Coryell County Commissioner Precinct 4. A little bit about me. I was a commissioner from late 2015 to 2022. So I have a lot of experience there, and I sat on the board for our mental health board, Central County Services, which is MHMR. We oversee 5 counties. We're the mental health authority for 5 counties. I am the president of the board, and I'm also the chair of the Budget and Finance Committee, so I have a lot of experience when it comes to budget and finance. I also sit on the board for HCCAA, Hill Country Community Action Association, which, in short, we make policies and oversee for all the senior centers for 11 counties. And we also do the Head Start program, Meals on Wheels, and a few other programs, weatherization and things like that. And it's a great board. Both of those are government boards, and I have sat on those for both of them for well over 10 years. I also am on the Coryell County Museum and Historical Center board, and which is huge. I really enjoyed the work there, and I oversee the maintenance of a 25,000 square foot facility. If you've never been, I encourage you to come and look. It's really, really cool. It's the Coryell County Museum is really awesome. So invite everybody to come and check that out. That's the things that I do now, and I'm hoping to be your county commissioner again and get a lot of work done for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing since March 3rd? It's been like 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh. I took a week off, and really not really a whole week, but I took some time to rest up a little bit. And I've been just out checking signs. I had a few signs disappear and things like that. So I've been out kind of monitoring things. I'm ready to kick back up and do a lot of campaigning, but I'm just kind of holding off till like April 1st. And that's just a date that I set in my own mind. Because, you got to take a little break from this because you spend every day, all day, this is reeling through your mind campaigning wise, which is not even the job. I can't wait to get to the job part of it.
Well, Monday night in Gatesville was a traumatic night on the west side of the courthouse, and we saw you on TV, and because they did interview you a little bit.
Yeah.
What was that like out there?
It was, well, to be honest with you, it was horrific. It really was upsetting to me to see something I've seen my whole life just be disintegrated right in front of me. I was there during the whole fire, pretty much shortly after it started. I made my way down there to see if I could help in any way, and I stayed there until till it was under control and had gutted the entire side of the square.
I think most of us around, even down there in Cove, I've been in Laird's. Several times.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a staple in Coryell County and Gatesville. He actually started that business, or his family started that business in 1898. They actually rented the building and started. I can't think of it was not Laird's yet. It was like Rambler or something like that, and he decided that the name was kind of weird. So about 10 years in, he bought the place, and then he changed the name to Laird's Department Store because he had, the variety of things.
If Tiffany's on here, Tiffany Butler or Amber Tippett, they should know because they're like experts in Coryell County.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
Especially up there.
Yeah. Yep. Amber had her grandmother worked there.
Wow.
Yeah. So
man, that's horrible. I was at a campaign event in Killeen talking to some city council members down there, and one of the people that live up in Gatesville said, "Hey James, check this out." I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it was devastating, and it will be for years to come.
Hopefully, they're able to rebuild somewhere else.
I don't know. Just for what it's worth, the owner is well in his 70s, and I'm not sure what the next generation is going to look like as far as Laird's goes. I think he's the third or fourth generation of the family that's been running the business, and so. Don't know what that's going to look like. I have to ask him, but my prayers go out to them for sure. And the newspaper, my gosh, we lost, and the newspaper was not digitized. So everything in their archives is gone. Like we have all of the history of Gatesville. So the Gatesville Messenger is the newspaper, and all of the history is just up in smoke,
Wow. That was one of the Copper's Code Leader Press. That has been an ongoing effort with them to get everything digitized.
I would encourage that now. You don't think much about that. Even in the county, when I was commissioner in the county, we didn't really put a lot of emphasis on getting all of our stuff digitized. We had a lot of things in storage that really needed to be, but money and things like that kept us from just like doing it all at once. And so we did it over a period of time, and we never thought that we needed to do that. We just, in my mind, it was just for saving space. It really wasn't because of the saving history. Oh my gosh, and the hard files, when they're gone, they're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like when in the 1800s, when the Library of Congress went up in flames.
Yeah.
He lost hundreds of thousands of records.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do. There's not a thing.
So now that we got you all relaxed and stuff, you ready to get down to business?
Sure. I'm ready as I'll ever be.
Okay. So we're going to deal with infrastructure and road management. Okay. So Coryell County's Road and Bridge Department is a constant focus for the Commissioner's Court, especially regarding equipment upgrades and material costs. Okay. So what is your specific plan for prioritizing road repairs in our precinct? In our precinct. And how would you balance emergency repairs with long-term paving projects?
Okay. Well, let me start by saying not every county works like our county. About half, I think, now in the state of Texas has gone to a unit system, which means that the 4 commissioners hire a road administrator who has all the knowledge and all the things that he needs to do as far as that department goes, and he answers to the Commissioner's Court. So we do have an expert in the field, doing that sort of thing. So, we would have to encourage him. Some of the things that we've talked about that I've had conversations with some of the folks in the county and even some of the folks that are running for offices, is maybe we need to turn back, and some of the roads need repair before we move on and build new roads, because if we don't repair what's sitting there, then it's going to just deteriorate more and more until we lose them. So there's going to be an effort, I think, once we get into office, to kind of encourage the road administrator to fix and repair everything first before we start adding new roads down the line. that's just going to be the first thing we do, and encourage him to do it. I think it'll save us a little money for a year or so, to get kind of things in line. Don't want to fall behind for sure because we're growing so fast, but it's just that's my thoughts on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So equipment versus outsourcing. The county has recently debated lease purchase.
Yeah.
All right. An agreement for heavy machinery. Do you support expanding the county's own fleet, or do you prefer outsourcing specialized road work to private contractors?
Well, that's catch-22. If we have our own equipment, it doesn't cost us anything per se to do it, but yet we have equipment costs and we have maintenance and things like that. So you got to weigh it out. Some of the equipment is seasonal. So, I'm sure the administrator, of course, we're going to find out, once I get to have a chance to talk to him in court and things like that. But some of the stuff is seasonal. So I would think renting seasonal things, just like, the seal that they put on the road, the chip seal. It is very seasonal. You can only do it at a certain temperature. So why buy a chip sealer? Why buy, that sits there for 8 months or 9 months out of the year when you could just rent one for 3 months during the season, get it done. And some of those kind of questions will be brought up.
Well, here in Texas, we have 10 months of summer.
Yeah, the season's probably a little longer than 2 or 3 months.
So with growth impact, with population growth in areas like Copper's Cove, we have 41,000
Gosh,
people.
I know it. It's unreal.
And Gatesville, which has about 19,000, right?
Yes, but that counts the prison population as well.
There are people too.
I know. Well, that's their.
How will you ensure our infrastructure keeps pace without creating a backlog of deferred maintenance?
Well, that's going to be hopefully the taxes we draw off the rooftops. The more we grow, the more we're going to collect, the more we can build. That's just kind of how that's going to go. We're going to have to be very diligent in the budget, because we do have a deficit right now, and I know that it'll be paid down in 6 or 8 years. I can't remember the exact amount.
Yeah, but more rooftops means more strain on water resources and electricity resources also.
It's going to equal out. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to equal out. Just good planning, long-range planning is going to be, I'm going to emphasize on that all the time. I want to think 10 years down the road, 15 years down the road. I don't want to think about next year. I do. I mean, we're going to, but I want to look forward a lot further and try to come up with some long-term plans that'll help us bring down the deficit for the county and keep us caught up on everything we're doing. There's a way to do it. I know we can do that.
Well, Coryell County didn't have its own independent source of water.
Right.
We depend on Belton and Stillhouse, especially down here. I don't know where does Gatesville get its water from?
I believe Belton.
Belton. Yeah. Okay. But do you know if Roger Miller, Judge Miller, I'm sorry, did he sign on to the new water board that they got formed up?
No, I don't believe he did. I'm not going to say yes or no, but my 90%, I don't believe they did.
Okay.
I believe that's something that we need to do. I know it's going to cost some money to do, but I think it'll benefit Coryell County if we manage to get on that.
Get your voice in there.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Budget, budget and fiscal responsibility. Okay. For the FY 2026 budget, including a property tax increase of 9.2% over the previous year. Right.
Yeah.
So, tax rate philosophy. The 2025-26 budget saw a significant revenue increase from property taxes. Under what specific circumstances would you vote for a tax rate that exceeds the no new revenue tax?
Okay. Well, to understand the no new revenue tax, if you vote for a budget that goes past that, then it goes out for a vote to the public. And who is going to vote for higher taxes? I mean, I won't, all right? So we have to stay under that. I mean, I really feel like the court needs to use that as a guideline and to literally stay under the no new revenue rate. That way we don't have to bring it for a vote to the public, and we can use the funds the way we need to, the way we plan to. But if you go past that and the public votes no, then you actually go back to the rate of last year. So if you go back to that rate, you're not going to be able to fund the county for the year. You're just not. So that's the chance you take, raising it over that rate. There's no reason to raise. I honestly believe that we can get the budget under control enough, especially with the growth that we have going on. I really believe that we're going to have to raise a little bit. You just have cost of living. You have your employees and just everything. Everything goes up, right? So we're going to have to raise a little bit, but I can never see us going past the no new revenue rate.
Well, with debt management, Coryell County's total indebtedness is currently $8.4 million. What is your strategy for managing this debt while still funding essential services and public safety?
Well, we just have to. I mean, that's what we're handed. That's what we will be handed when we take office. And I believe there's a set, I think it's 6 or 8 years till that's paid off. So that's $1 million a year that's going to go to that. And so long range planning, we need to plan past that. Okay, yeah, we're going to have to deal with that till it gets paid off. And once it's paid off, spend wisely, plan wisely. That's the goal.
Okay, so this is the fun one for everyone. Unfunded mandates.
Oh yeah, unfunded.
How would you advocate at the state level to prevent unfunded mandates?
I've done it before. I will do it again when I get into office. But we got our 90th legislative session coming up in 2027. Believe it or not, the day after election, the day after the election is over in November, they can actually start meeting and talking about bills that they're going to present for the 2027 year. They literally cannot present the bills until January the 12th, I believe is the date. And they can then start presenting the bills. And you've got to track that. We've got to watch what's being put out there and make sure there's no unfunded mandates put on those bills towards the counties and things like that. And if there is, then it's time to call Shelby Slauson, Pete Flores. It's time for me to call those folks that I know and say, hey, don't do that. And maybe you can put a stop to it before it ever hits the floor, before it ever actually becomes a bill. If not, then you at least track it and maybe you can get them to change it. But you have to advocate for the county. I will encourage the whole commissioner's court to do the same thing, but I will definitely be doing that.
When you were on the commission before, it's been 4 years almost, right?
Yeah.
So did you ever, in the 2 legislative sessions or 3 that you remember commissioner here, did you ever go down to Austin during legislative sessions?
Absolutely, yes. And never got to make it to the floor, but I actually got to talk to a lot of the what do you call them? The lobbyists. I got to get my voice heard a bunch while I was there. I spent a week there one time and never made it to the floor because of the lines, in the list that you got to sign up. You got to make sure that you're on a list to get there, and they don't always see everybody. But I was able to hang out, and I think his name's Bob Allison. He's an attorney there in Austin. He is so into all of that legislative stuff, and he is a man of knowledge. And I hung out with him, kind of did what he said. He would point towards somebody. They're lobbying for this, and you go talk. And so I did that, But yes, and
were you a commissioner when Judge Firth was the county judge?
Yes, I was.
So you were part of Judge Miller and Judge Firth?
Yes, I was with Judge Firth for 2 years.
Okay. Did either of them ever go down there?
No.
No?
Okay.
No. Any other commissioners go with you?
Nope.
No? Man, okay.
Sorry, commissioners.
Well, that's all right. I mean, you don't have to apologize to them because it's your free will to go down there and stuff. But it's good because the county is a subdivision of the state.
Right. Exactly. We're the ones that collect the taxes.
Right. Yeah.
And the state gets 82% of them.
Yeah. Why do you think Justin Carruthers has a job?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it would be good that the elected personnel actually go down and see our representatives.
Yes, I think it's good just to show your face. I mean, I popped in on Shelby here just a year ago, and I'm not a commissioner or anything, but with my mental health board, I do spend a lot of time in Austin as well at the Capitol. And I was there for a mental health conference and slid into Shelby's office to say hi. And just, it's just good to keep up with the rapport like that.
Well, because when the state representative gets elected, they go down right after they get elected and they start networking.
Yes.
The whole month of November and December,
Yes.
being ready. They're not even sworn in, but they're down there establishing those relationships.
That's what I meant by the day after the election. Yeah. They're already. I mean, they know they won. They're already going down there. It's good for up here
too. So you get elected, you're like, okay, you start making inroads, start making contacts. So when you get sworn in January, you know what you're doing.
Yes.
It's not a learning curve. Well, give me 6 months. No. It's January. Go to work.
Right.
They're paying you tax dollars to be a commissioner.
Right.
Go to work.
Right. Exactly. That's where my experience comes in too.
Is this going to be your full-time job?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I don't plan on doing anything else but getting your county lined up and straight.
If y'all have any questions for Ray, type them into live chat, and then we'll get them to answer them also. Okay. And don't forget to follow the podcast by clicking the follow button and clicking that like button. Okay. So let's go on back to more questions.
Okay.
Technology and county services. The county is currently in the middle of a major transition for its information technology services to address long-standing capacity and security issues. With the transition to new IT services, Goldsmith Solutions is ongoing. How will you measure the success of this transition, and how much of the budget are you willing to allocate to modernize the county's cybersecurity?
Well, that's a 3-part question, isn't it?
Okay.
No, I honestly, I know that the current commissioner's court has got them on board, and I do not know. I'm going to just have to be honest. I do not know the contract with them or the cost, so I'm not going to even anticipate what it might be. But it's a necessary evil. We do have to get it done. When I was a commissioner, we were still looking at IT. IT's never going to go away. It's only going to change and morph over the years, and we've got to kind of go with that. And I know that Gatesville has gotten stronger infrastructure. I think they've gotten or getting, if they haven't already gotten the fiber optics and things like that. But I know that eventually we'll catch up to Copper's Cove, maybe. But but you got to remember, county commissioner is county. So Copper's Cove's already involved. We're trying to get Gatesville up to par, and so I don't put as much dollar-wise into IT as maybe some of the other commissioners might. I'm looking more for our law enforcement, more for our emergency services and things like that. I know that IT is a big part of that, so I'm going to have to work with it. That's all I can say. I mean, I don't have a knowledge of.
Is this IT transition? Is this just for the networks, for the computers?
I think it's for, to be honest with you, I'm not sure, but I think it's for the networks. It's for also fixed break fix, what they call it. I believe that's going to be. They're using a local now, but I believe it's all going to be turned over eventually to them. But I'm not sure.
Would this include transitioning from Zoom to like a YouTube system for live streaming for commissioner meetings?
Now that I don't know. That I don't know what the current court is working on with them. I missed the 2 pretty important meetings, and I have to apologize for that. But I honestly don't know their interaction right now with that. I wish I did.
But you would support transitioning to a more hard system?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think we need to, as far as the court goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next question. Transparency. What steps will you make? What steps will you take to make the commissioners' court meetings and county financial records more accessible and transparent to the average citizen?
Well, first of all, I am running on transparency, and I want to make sure that everyone gets every question answered correctly and timely. Um, I know there's issues with the not being heard, not the commissioners not being able to be heard in court and things like that. So we're going to fix that right off. I already can tell you that we're gonna mic up everything. We're gonna video everything. We're gonna offer uh, as much transparency there as we possibly can. My office door is going to be open all the time. People can come, and I will be 100%. If you need something, I'm gonna, and you make a request for it, I'm gonna make sure we get it very timely, and there's no reason not to. That sort of thing.
Now, when it comes to transparency, that's not one of my fixed questions, but we entertained this the other night in Killeen because I went to a forum out there, but they were talking about making sure their meetings go into the evening time because Killeen City Council meet in the afternoon, okay, instead of in the evening. But several of the candidates want to push it to the evening time for the average citizen to be able to see what's going on in their county and city.
Okay.
When does the county court actually meet?
County court right now meets second and fourth Tuesday, 9 a.m. And they have ever since even way back when I was there from 2015 and on, they've met. But somebody approached the court back in 2016ish, and I just remember the answer was they, I think in 2014 or 13 or 14, that they changed the time. So also something to think about too is you can't just go, oh, I think I'm going to change the commissioner's court to Wednesdays or whatever, or evenings or whatever. It's not just that simple. When you file your budget at the end of the year, there is several things you file with the state, and one of them is your meeting obligations, and that is a state filed record. So the commissioner's court literally has to decide what days they're going to meet. They're required to meet twice a month. They could meet more if they feel like it, but twice a month, and they have to have stated days. So you can do it only once a year. So if we do it, we got to do it for the entire year, which I'm fine with that. I'm not a morning person. A lot of people know that. So I'm an evening person. So I would love it if we met in the afternoons. I'd be more in tune with everything, and I think that would be good. And hopefully, okay, going back, they said they tried it and nobody showed up. They said they did it for an entire year. They met at 6:00 and same days every other Tuesday, or second, fourth Tuesday, and the same amount of attendance was there. So they went back because of the you have to have employees and things like that at the meeting. So then if you're doing the evenings, then you're either going to have to give them some comp time or some overtime, or you got to let them off the next morning, whatever it may be that you have to work out. So you're juggling a little bit of employee time there too.
Well, it's just an effort. The county would have to go through to educate the citizens out there.
Yes,
we do meet at 6 or at 5 p.m. We do meet here. Come join us. Come see what's going on in your county. And the same thing, if they want to live stream something, they know when they can get on. But if they're at work, you better not at work. You better not be getting on YouTube to watch a county meeting. You're going to watch it later on. Give them that opportunity, that freedom to watch it when they get off work.
Right.
Or if they, you know what, this is going too good. I'm signing off. I'm driving down there real quick. I'm going to see the rest of the meeting.
Yeah.
Does Coryell County have a citizens forum?
They do not, but one of the first things I'm going to do when I take office is I'm going to have a citizens meeting on Monday night before Commissioner's Court Day on Tuesday, and I guess I'm going to call it Precinct 4 Constituent Meeting. Anybody's welcome to come. You don't have to be in Precinct 4, but we're going to go over the agenda. This is part of my transparency. We're going to go over the agenda, and I'm going to tell everybody my thoughts, and I want to hear their thoughts. And maybe we can come up with some solutions before I walk in the door on Tuesday morning, or whenever we decide to have the meeting. Whenever, when I walk in, I'll have my constituents input and not just mine. And so, it may change the outcome of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, public safety. So the county relies heavily on state and federal grants for disaster relief and emergency management. Law enforcement part is with the sheriff's department requiring regular vehicle and equipment rotations. How would you? Too bad cars can't last forever.
I know. Oh my gosh.
How would you plan to ensure our deputies are well equipped while staying within the general fund's limits?
Well, first of all, and we did run into it when I was commissioner. You've got to rotate your vehicles. You can't let them get so out of date that you can't get anything for them. Oh my gosh! Sorry, my phone's ringing. Y'all give me a second. Don't be called somebody from Copper's Cove. But hopefully it's nobody online.
Right. Type your question into Ray.
Right.
Don't call them.
Right. So I'm sorry. Where were we?
Cars.
The cars. You've got to rotate them. When they got lower miles, you can get more for them, or you can also use them for your constables and things like that. But as far as the fleets go, there's never been a real, even with Central County Services at MHMR, we have a fleet that we work with, and there's never been like this great answer that you can just come up with.
You mean like how long does the average deputy's vehicle last before you have to rotate it?
Right. Not very long. A couple of years, I think, 2 or 3 years. We hold on to them. It depends on what status they are. If they're if they're a detective, they're not riding around in a fully equipped vehicle, and they're not putting as many miles. So those will last a little bit longer. But your patrol cars, they get, especially if they get in chases and things like that, they don't last very long. And a lot of maintenance for them and things like that. So maintenance gets costly too. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you're rotating your fleet. And even if it hurts a little bit, because I know that the sheriff was getting a little short on deputy cars, and so they came up with a little extra for him this time. But if you're rotating your fleet properly, then you shouldn't have to run into that problem.
So does the county? I wish I knew all these answers. I can't know everything.
Yeah.
So does the county have to provide vehicles, uniforms, weapons, communications for the sheriff's department?
Yes.
Or do they procure it through their own?
Nope. They all of that is supplied.
It is.
Yep, to the deputies.
And it get quite expensive too.
And it gets very, very expensive. Just an outfit a deputy. We've talked about that, outfitting a car with the computer and outfitting a deputy with body cam and the whole 9 yards. And and it can't just be a cheap body cam either. It has to be one you can track if they get in a chase. It has to be. There's a lot to it. Thousands and thousands of dollars just for one deputy and one deputy's car. I mean, so you got to, again.
And you got to pay them because you don't want to bring a deputy online who stays 7 or 8 months. Got a little bit of experience. I'm going up to Waco or Killeen or Copper's Cove and get more money.
When that happened a lot more back in the day when I was a commissioner than it does now. I think we did a lot of work back then to get the deputies' pay up a little bit, so we're more competitive with the other counties. But we're still, we still fall a little short. You really got to have a heart for Coryell County, I think, to be a deputy here, and we got a lot of good ones that do have the heart. But we also have gotten their pay, and we got great benefits that some of the other counties don't have, which could offset, some of the salary. We offer full coverage insurance, which a lot of counties don't. You have to pay for it. So that right there is a cost savings, for someone that wants to be a deputy. But I don't know what the starting salary is at the moment. Back when I was a commissioner, we actually got it raised quite a bit, $7,000 or $8,000 a year, because it was so low. It was incredible. I couldn't believe anybody would want to put their life on the line for $29,000 a year. Back then. Yeah.
So the county is currently working with FEMA and has hazard mitigation grants.
Yep.
Okay. How would you ensure these funds are captured and used efficiently to prevent future flood and disaster damage?
Now, FEMA is an ongoing thing for all the counties. That's where we get a lot of money. and they have preventative grants, and then they have grants for after disaster happens and things like that. So again, long range planning, stay on top of it. Look for those preventive grants. A lot of sometimes we let that kind of go to the wayside and wait till something happens and we have a flood or a road washout or something like that, and then we're able to get a ton of money from them to fix it or whatever. But maybe there was a grant that was previous grant that we could have gotten that could have fixed that road before disaster hit it, and it could have saved the county money and saved the state or the federal government money. But that's how we do it. We just have to oversee it, apply for all the grants that we can, whether it be preventative or disastrous, and then also there's other grants out there. I mean, with the MHMR, I work on grants all the time. We are building right at the moment we're building a $35 million complex. $35 million complex, and it's costing us about $400,000, and it's going to be a living, for folks, and we're real excited about that. But we found that grant, and without looking, if we hadn't looked, we wouldn't have never came across it. So we are always on the look.
Does the county still have their economic development board?
No, they do not. It disbanded. I was still a commissioner when it disbanded, when Judge Miller depleted it. They depleted the funds for it.
Do you think it would be wise to bring it back?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You think you could build enough support with other commissioners?
I think so. I think it's real important to have an economic development board. I mean, they're the ones that are out in the community and can help you, eyes and ears and everything. Also, two heads are better than one kind of thing, experts, find people that we had a pretty good development board. Jack Barcroft, I think, was in charge of it. He's
Bill Harrell was on it too.
Yep. And they were very knowledgeable people. It's just, it was defunded.
Wow. Yeah. So I do know when I go up to Gatesville quite a bit, but I do know it's a different type of world than it is down here.
Yeah.
We're country, but we're like modern type country. But when you go to Gatesville, it's like y'all like the small town feel.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But you do have to modernize, and
yes.
You got to bring in businesses. Because you don't want to rely on property tax to fund.
Right.
Right. And y'all do get a portion of sales tax to fund the county. Just I think the half cent.
Something like that.
Yeah, but it's not very much, right. but every little bit helps.
Right.
And when you bring in, like we just scored a VA outpatient clinic here.
I know, that's so incredible.
Yeah, I mean that's going to spin off other businesses all around the whole area.
Affiliated businesses all want to come in all around
here, and then but other than the 500 jobs coming to the VA. But you have all these other businesses around it.
Right.
More jobs are going to come.
Right.
So you might have 750 jobs or maybe more than that in the area, which provides sales tax revenue.
Right.
And you're going to have more property tax because the properties around there will be improved properties.
Right.
So they'll actually be charged regular property tax.
Right.
And it's just an economic thing going on. Right. But if y'all could do the same thing like with Gatesville, I know you can't tell Gatesville what to do,
right?
But they would love to have something big come in,
right?
Other than just the prisons,
right?
To drive some type of economic activity.
So Gatesville's catching up. Copper's Cove has such a growth, and I want to say y'all because you live here and I live in Gatesville. Not that but countywide. Copper's Cove is miles ahead of Gatesville as far as infrastructure and planning and everything as far as that goes. And not putting down Gatesville, it's just Gatesville's population.
I have fiber. This is all connected to fiber.
Yeah.
I would never in my wildest dreams believe I'd be using fiber optic cable inside my house.
Yeah, right.
I mean, how much fiber has been installed up there?
I don't know yet. Not in houses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I honestly have not kept up with that part. I know they're currently installing right now. And I say not in houses, and I know of one neighborhood they're at right now. So but they're doing it right now. I don't know how long it takes. I don't know what they've gotten done. I haven't been able to explore that. When I become a commissioner, I'll be able to have a little more time to invest all in do.
So if there was one thing you could do in the next 4 years, if you get elected in the next 4 years, what's one big thing you would like to see come to Coryell County? Probably in your precinct, but let's think Coryell County, okay?
Oh my gosh. This question wasn't part of the deal here. Okay, let's see.
It's free. We're live, man.
You
rolled the dice when you said yes.
There's so many things that I would like to see. Gatesville's always complained there's nothing for anybody to do. So, putters and gutters and Lampasas. Awesome. I would absolutely love, maybe somewhere close to Copper's Cove, but Gatesville side, and see something like that come in would be incredible for our kids, our youth, even the adults, playing putt and just things. So entertainment wise, I've along those lines, we don't have anything. Gatesville has nothing. We have one of the barbecue places has a venue, and he does a good job of putting on some concerts and things like that. But as far as for any youth or any even younger, elementary age and things like that, there's really not a whole lot for those kids to do.
A friend of mine just built a rodeo arena up there.
Yeah,
up near Flat.
Really?
Yeah. Mike Mikulski.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well,
matter of fact, he just had a rodeo like this last weekend.
Was it bull ride?
But he had it in I believe Leander. Oh. But he's going to have a big rodeo on the 4th of July up there
in Flat.
No, in Gatesville.
At the Gatesville
or at his ranch.
Yeah.
That he just bought. He moved up from Wilco up to here. He liked this quiet life. He got it.
Gatesville does have a great rodeo arena. I will say, a riding club there, which that's something that Copper's Cove I don't think has much of. But again, you're talking country, and then you're talking more city life here. But
their school superintendent here is intending to make the 4-H. I think they got 4-H down here.
Yes,
trying to get it more out there again, like it used to be.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that is big in Gatesville. It's something for the kids to do. Again, that's probably the only thing they have going. I mean, I hate to. I'm not putting down Gatesville. We just don't have anything to entertain them.
So you'd like to bring some.
Love to see a bowling alley. Putters and gutters with a bowling alley. Would be awesome. If any business owners have got any money, holler at me. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, there's other businesses I would like to see as well as manufacturing, things. But again, you got to have the infrastructure to support it, and we're not quite there in Gatesville like y'all are here. And I know you got the VAs coming in, you got all those things. There's other things. I know the new senior center is awesome that you got built over there.
I had ribbon cutting on Monday.
Huh?
Yeah, the ribbon cutting.
I was there. I went there. ACCAA is we're going to run the center for you.
That's good.
Yeah, the Hill Country Board.
Oh, so anything? Okay, so we cover a whole scope and a whole lot more, but that's fine. So the voters know, because we all know when it comes to a runoff, the availability of voters shrinks.
Yes.
Okay. You cannot have voted in the other party at all.
Right.
You have to be, since you're a Republican, you have to have voted. If you have voted Republican, you're automatically eligible to vote on the runoff.
Right.
And if you haven't voted, you're able to vote.
Are you? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're
but
able.
If you voted in the Democrat primary, you can't.
Right.
But we know historically, you may have a big pool of people come vote, but when it comes to runoff, it shrinks.
It's very, very much so. So, my best recollection, we had around 1,600 vote the last time I ran 4 years ago, and then we had a matter of 500 people vote in the runoff. Incredibly.
Yeah. Do you have a team already assembled to help you get through the runoff?
Not, I have some family, my kids and things. We're working, we're campaigning. I'm going to encourage, I'm going to try something a little different this year. I'm going to call all my friends that haven't voted. I'm going to get a list about halfway through early voting. So y'all get ready, friends. I'm going to get this list halfway through early voting, and then I'm going to go through that list. And if I know you, you're getting a call from me if you hadn't voted.
Make sure they're in 4.
Right, in precinct 4, of course.
Yeah. So you can't call me.
Right. Right.
Well, I can still vote in the runoff because there's the county judge races in there, and we won't talk about the county judge race because we're talking about your race.
Right.
But so in 4, it's you and the county judge, and I don't think there's any more.
Because 4, no,
because Shelby's unopposed Republican, so it's Pete Flores, and man.
Well, Flores,
and then John Carter, he's good. He won outside 50%.
Right.
Man, okay.
So just what, Flores?
Yeah. Senate.
There's a couple Senates. Yeah, that's a couple Senate seats.
John Cornyn and Ken Paxton race.
So that should bring some more voters out. So y'all come out for that and then vote for me if you're in precinct 4.
So you want to give a closing message before we sign off?
I just would like to thank everybody for getting me here. Everybody that's helped. My daughter Candace has been a huge help with me and helping me get here. I encourage you to please go vote. I know with my experience that I am the best candidate for precinct 4. I'm going to hit the ground running. There's no learning curve. I'm already there. I just want to better Coryell County and get us lined out. I sure appreciate it and would be humbly honored if you voted for me.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming over here this afternoon and doing it live. I never expected to do it live. Only my podcast I do live itself, but I've been taping all y'all's and then pushing them out a few hours later. And I'm like, I'll give them an opportunity.
So remember, this is live.
Yeah, this is actually live.
Yeah,
it's not Memorex.
Right.
If you know, you know. You got to be a Gen X and older.
Right.
But and I got a few other candidates who'll be coming over. I'm going to give them the same opportunity.
Okay, awesome.
You call them up after we're done to scare them off, probably.
No, I won't. I'll let you surprise them.
Okay. Well, hey, thank you all very much for listening to this. And please like the podcast and follow it. You will see me tomorrow morning. I will be here 6:30 in the morning. I do a podcast called JP's Morning Brief.
Yeah. See, I'm not up at 6:30. Sorry.
But you can watch a video on demand.
Yeah, I do.
And then I do the JP8 report at noon. So thank you all very much for tuning in. And thank you for coming over, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is the end for the day. I'll catch you on the flip side. This is James Pierce with the JP8 report. I'm out.